Lorraine Hunt Bono. She is a Republican activist, the way Republicans are activists, and I absolutely love people like this. I don't think I've ever met her, but I go to her place like once a week. And I love the meatballs, and I love the entertainment. It's just so much fun. Lorraine Hunt Bono.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Lorraine, I have wanted to meet you for the longest time. I first of all, I want you to know how much I love the Bootleggers. Just absolutely wonderful. The entertainment you have, the harpist. I mean, it's a classy place.
A lot of talented musicians in town, you bet.
Boy, I just love it when I go on a Monday or whatever, and it doesn't matter. Like every night, you got something going on there.
That's right. 7 nights a week.
Hey, I want to ask you. You are what I call a Republican activist. The way Republicans are activists. You don't barricade yourself in front of the White House. You don't force U.S. senators to stay on an elevator and berate them. But you do what Republicans do, which is a lot different, isn't it?
Oh, well, I guess so. I just believe in free enterprise and the American way, limited government, less regulations, helping people to help themselves, and creating a dynamic environment, economic environment, because when the economy is strong, and I'm a huge small business advocate. Small businesses are the backbone of not only Nevada, but the United States of America. So, and coming from, I'm a second-generation Italian-American. We come from old school, believes hard work and you can achieve your American dream. So all those fundamental values are really just instilled inside of me, and they are basic Republican values.
I want to ask you, you've been one of the early supporters of Adam Laxalt for governor, yes. And he had a tough primary, and now he's in the general election. I want to ask, what is it about Adam Laxalt that you like that has drawn you to him so much?
Well, in addition to being very, very smart and he has great integrity, but he's kind of like my family. He's a fourth-generation Nevadan. His family understands the long-range, long-term plans that the pioneers that developed this whole state, what they had in mind, and he's carrying on those traditions. He gets it, as far as I'm concerned, and I think he'd be a great leader and a great governor.
I have been a real critic of Brian Sandoval on a lot of different issues. But one of the things I think he's done really well is economic development. GoEd, I think, has been amazing, attracting businesses to our state, making it more palatable for businesses to move from other states. Adam Laxalt has an economic development plan that a lot of people are starting to talk about. They really love it. Can you explain as best you can Adam's economic development plan?
Well, he has some great points. I like to preface to say, when I was lieutenant governor, I led economic development efforts for the state for 8 years. And during that time, we traveled everywhere from Elko to Ely, Winnemucca, Tonopah, everywhere throughout the state. We brought together science, engineer, technology, educators, small business, everybody to say, what do we need to do to promote our state? And we addressed our strengths and our weaknesses for economic development opportunities. And through that, we produced recommendations through the Battelle Memorial Institute study and the prestigious Kauffman Foundation. And when I read Adam's plan, I was just delighted to see many of those valuable recommendations that are still valid today, and I thought they're forgotten about, were included in Adam's economic development plan. So as far as I'm concerned, it's right on target.
I want to ask you, because you've been on both sides of this thing. You've been in government as lieutenant governor. You have really a wonderful economic empire that is into a lot of different things. I'm curious. There's a belief out there by some that either you're pro-business or you're pro-worker, and that you can't be both. Can you be both?
Oh, it's completely the opposite. You can't have a business without the workers, but then you can't have workers without a business. It's mutually dependent upon one another, and nobody believes that more than small businesses, because when you're a small business, you know your employees so well. You work together daily. You go through their ups and their downs of their personal life, and it is like a family. So that's totally inaccurate.
I've been looking at his opponent, Adam's opponent, Steve Sisolak, and he keeps talking about, all the taxes are on the table, wants to raise your property taxes. Can you contrast Adam's approach with that of his opponent?
Well, I really, Adam's approach would be far more in sync probably with mine. As a small business owner and understanding economics, you can't keep taxing people, because when you do take money away from them, they have less money to spend. You can't keep taxing businesses, particularly small business, or you put them out of business, and then they have to let people go. So the fact is, you've got to look at what is your current budget. As far as I'm concerned, I have seen and studied state budgets. I was a county commissioner for 4 years. I know the county budget. All these budgets, there's plenty of money there, Kevin, but it's just the way it's being spent. So before you start talking about increasing taxes, you need to address the way you're spending the money you already have, just the way we do at home. But that practical aspect of approaching a budget, unfortunately, is not always recognized by, I want to call career politicians or people that don't understand the realities of economics. So, first of all, take what you've got coming in, and we have quite a bit in Nevada. Let's spend it more appropriately, and then take a look. If we do have needs, then of course we have to address them.
Again, Lorraine Hunt Bono is joining us on our City National Bank guest hotline. I want to drill down on something you said. Adam Laxalt has said that he'll stop the tax increases. Steve Sisolak said that all tax increases are on the table, and he says he wants to raise the property taxes. Why is it so important when we talk about tax increases, tax cuts, things like that? Why is it so important?
Well, it's so important because you have to spend your money prudently. I'm a fiscal conservative. And certainly there are certain social needs that we need to do. Roads, highways, social services, our mental health facilities in southern Nevada and in other parts of the state, the rurals. There's a lot of needs out there. But also when you see a lot of waste, as a small business person and being brought up by an old Italian family, I mean, we didn't waste a piece of bread. We made meatballs with it. So you just don't, there's a lot of waste going on. So before you start saying we have to raise taxes, no, I want to look at where's that money being spent. We need to have forensic audits in every single department. And there, trust me, there's many, many areas where that money is going down a dark hole.
By the way, speaking of meatballs, your meatballs are the best in town. Hey,
Mama is 101 years old, Kevin. Do you know that? And she's still in there 3 or 4 days a week checking out her recipes and making sure they follow up. Yes.
I love them. I absolutely love them. I want to ask you, though, because Adam, in his plan, is doing something that I think is critical. You can have, in order to attract business, we need a great workforce, an educated workforce.
You bet. Oh,
and I know one of the things that he has in his program is workforce development. Can you talk a little bit about what that means?
Oh, that's a biggie. And that was also in our Battelle Study and Kaufman Foundation recommendations, big time. We had many meetings with our community colleges for the most resilient, and they responded so beautifully to different companies coming in that would need certain classes and education that was the real world. And so Adam's workforce development to me is right on for today's world. Not that we don't need more PhDs, but I'll tell you what, we need people that can go right to work after a couple of years out of college, and what he has planned for this state will be so, so valuable. When I was lieutenant governor, and we'd meet with these Fortune 500 companies saying, come into our state, we have all these great incentives, and no corporate income tax, and we're business friendly and all this. And I'd say, tell me, what do you need? You need more scientists. You need more. They said, Lorraine, all these graduates from all over the world, they want to come to Nevada. They love to ski at Lake Tahoe. They love to fish, and they love to spend time, in the rural areas, and they love Las Vegas and the great restaurants, etc. But Lorraine, what we really need are welders. Well, I mean, this is the fact of life, is that the workforce development program that Adam Laxalt will put into play will create realistic jobs for real people and give our high school students a chance to go out into the world and make a really good living just a couple of years out of high school. And a lot of people want that.
Lorraine, we have a lot of the pundits predicting a big blue wave in Nevada. How do we, first of all, do you believe these people that there's going to be some sort of blue wave? And if you do, how do we prevent it?
Well, we can only prevent it by telling people to please come out and vote, whether you're a Republican, Democrat, Independent, and please vote Republican this year, because the Republican candidates that we have are truly entrepreneurial. They understand the pioneer spirit of Nevada, and they will lead us in the right direction. And most definitely to vote for Adam Laxalt for governor, because he is the man right now, the right man for the right time to lead us in that direction. And I'm hoping and praying that's what's going to happen. Hey, what about Trump's triumph today? The United States, Mexico-Canada trade agreement. Do you know what? Combine that with the Canamex corridor and the Keystone Pipeline and the opportunities that we have in Nevada. And particularly, I was thinking this morning in Elko, because it would be really close to the Canamex corridor for the trade. I mean, the future could be just absolutely fantastic for our state, but with the right person at the lead. I mean, we could, without a doubt, I believe a Laxalt, Nevada will create an entrepreneurial environment that will allow Nevada to become the most economically competitive state in the American West. And I truly believe that, Kevin.
I want to ask you, because I've had people ask me this. You want to run for office again?
No, I just want to stay behind the scenes and nag everybody. I'm at that age right now where I can do that. You know, I have a little bit more flexibility to tell it like it is and try to keep this state, you know, in the right direction. We have Nevada's a great state, but slowly things are eroding that we don't want to happen. And we love our Californians that come in, but I tell them when they come here, please, you came here because you love this pioneer spirit, this economic environment that we have here. Don't try to change it. Try to go along with it and make it better.
We don't want to be California East. It's just
no.
We just don't want. I'm curious though, because I remember the president said so many times on the stump as candidate Donald Trump, "Hey, you're going to get tired of winning. You're going to get so tired. You're going to beg me, Mr. President. You can't win so much." Are you tired of winning yet?
Oh no. We got the sky's the limit.
I absolutely love it. Lorraine, I want to thank you for joining us, being a part of the show. And I'm sorry we had some technical difficulties early on, but those are apparently fixed. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I got to get a chance to meet you sometime, so I'll stop by and I'll introduce myself, okay?
I certainly hope so. We'll save you some meatballs, Kevin, and tell everybody out there, please vote Republican. This session, let's get Adam Laxalt elected and good. We've got to get the Senate and the Assembly, particularly if we can get the Senate, because as you know, without the Senate and particularly the Senate, but the Assembly too, without pro-business and small business thinking people, we're not going to be able to do all these wonderful things that I know we can do for this great state.
You are a great woman. Thank you so much. We will talk again soon, I hope.
Okay, I certainly hope so. Thank you, Kevin.
Lorraine Hunt Bono joining us, the former lieutenant governor, if you remember.